What's up, everybody? This is José Samuels, and you're tuning into another session of Daily Faiā. So this morning I actually saw a video from Mike Maloney, who also has a site called goldensilver.com. And he actually created this series called The Hidden Secrets of Money, which I'm a huge fan of. And what he's done, he's gone through history and explained pretty much the history of money in a very in a very clean manner, right? In a way that, the average person should be able to understand. And the reason why I like that is because it makes it easier to share with other people who don't understand the complexities of our current financial system. And of course, this relates to the cryptocurrency blockchain space that I'm in, and that we're also building Faiā in as well. Now, the most recent episode is episode 10, and they talk about bread and circus. Now, I'm also a huge fan of this game called Civilization by Sid Meier. It's been going on for like a decade or more than a decade, I think 2 decades now. And in the game, there is actually a unit, a building that you can create called Bread and Circus Project. And they talk about it in the latest episode. And Bread and Circus essentially was a way for the Roman Empire to actually put on gladiator matches and keep the public from revolting. Because essentially what they were doing was that they were, without the citizens realizing, is that in order to put on these free events, the gladiator shows and whatnot, they were actually robbing from the citizens themselves through taxation. Now, when I say robbing, it's one of those things where they don't realize how tax really affects. The average person doesn't realize how tax affects the citizens. So you take a percentage from your people, and then you give these things back to them that are free. But in the situation for the Romans, who suffered the most were the farmers and those who were actually producing useful things for the empire. And over time, that had a huge effect, a negative impact on the Roman Empire, which led to their decline. And you're actually now seeing this in a lot of Western countries. The United States, if you take a look at any documentary about food and agriculture and how we are just over consuming, and taxation is also causing farmers to really lose out the most, whereby they're having to not really take good care of their animals, which then means that they inject them with harmful chemicals and whatnot to meet quotas and to even make a profit, which then goes back to the consumer in the way that they absorb those same chemicals, right? So it's this vicious cycle. And I was just bringing this up on my Facebook recently, that when I was at Kohl's the other day, so it's a local supermarket here, they recently banned plastic bags in Australia. And I never actually felt right about that decision, because I knew that they were just going to carry on the cost to consumers. And what do you know? That's exactly what's happening. So every time I go to check out at Kohl's, there's actually a person, right? Talk about efficiency. There's a person running around at all these self-serve checkouts, and people asking, can I please have a plastic bag? Can I please have a plastic bag? Right? And then we are paying for those plastic bags. All right. Now, Aldi's, which is another, I think it's German, European supermarket, they already figured that out, and that's how they're able to get really low-priced brands and foods, etc. You just purchase your plastic bags. But at Kohl's, for them, it's been a huge win, because really they're just passing the cost back onto the consumer. They don't have to take on those costs themselves. And under the guise that we're like saving the environment by banning plastic bags at supermarkets. So I know that the intention, which their good intentions, was to get everybody to bring in their plastic bags. But if you look at, once again, human behavior, so many people have a habit of not carrying around bags for shopping all the time, right? You really have to plan ahead. And there is obviously, in the current society that we live in, sharing economy, we want things quick, fast, convenient. And of course, there are costs to that. But practically, right? If I'm at a supermarket, if I'm at a shopping center and I'm wanting to buy something, but I didn't actually think about that before going home, I don't have bags with me to take to Kohl's, right? I'm just gonna go and pay for it. So it's just interesting to see how some of these things are playing out. And in Australia, there's actually a lot of news. They had a farmer's drought, and the farmers are really suffering here in Australia. But the economy still goes on. People continue with their daily lives. And these are the signs, though, of the fall of empires. when the producers of the foods that we eat and most likely take for granted, when they start suffering the most, if that gets eradicated, then what happens to us? So these are things to think about. Those are my thoughts for today. It's related to what we're doing, why we're building what we're building, is because by serving clients who are involved in this blockchain space or who are working on the future of money, it has huge ramifications for our future. And as we build the company, we want to use the same profits and the same money that we get or earn to funnel into the areas that we think are best suited based on our own values as well. And just food for thought. The illusions of free and where your money is actually going. All right. With that, remember, as always, through patience and persistence, it will come.